arm mat, in theory. Listening to the gymnastics music out front so that you can hear me. I'll say out loud what I'm doing so you can kind of follow along, but most of it's just to make sure you know what I meant by the words I wrote down. So you've just done your outside warm-up, so you've gone for a walk and you've done those bigger motions. Now, tabletop. And lift your right arm up. And spread your right arm underneath so your shoulder moves around. And open. About 30 seconds. You can have your hand by your ear if that feels better. No right or wrong. When you're ready, the other side, left arm. Thread it through. And then you feel like that's pretty good, shake that out. And then come back into a child's pose. Roll forward onto your belly into a back bend. Not too much weight in your hands. And come back into your child's pose. When I come forward, sometimes I like to keep my knees bent and stay high for a second and swivel them around. Maybe some ankle circles, just because I like the way it feels. It's very much your choice. But then into your back bend. And sometimes I give myself a little wiggle. Everything's loosey-goosey. It's not about form and proper alignment. It's about loosening up and feeling good. About 30 seconds. Start to get really exaggerated as you come forward, like round through your back, and come down, all ooey gooey. One leg at a time, maybe. One leg bent. However feels right. Come back into kind of towards like a runner's kind of lungy situation. Or down dog, I don't know. Just up and back so then you can bring your right knee towards the outside of your right wrist, tap it down, and bring it right back. Tap, bring it back. Outside of your wrist, not the inside, so quite wide, open hip extension, external rotation. And then take your right foot to the inside of your right hand. Drop your left knee to the ground. Raise your right hand up to the ceiling. Bring your right elbow to your right ankle. Open back up, hand to ceiling. Close back in, elbow to ankle. About 30 seconds. You can kind of get rainbowish about it. Sometimes with my hands to the ceiling, I then like to open my chest up to the ceiling, rotate my thoracic spine. enjoy the music. And then straighten your right leg and rebend your right leg so you're getting a hamstring stretch. And then step your right foot back to your left. Walk your hands back to your feet. Walk your feet back out. Your hands back out away from your feet. Same on the left side. Left knee outside of your left wrist. It's gymnastics. That's what you're listening to. It's the gymnastics team and their music. So hopefully you can hear my voice above that. Couple more taps, left knee to left wrist. And when it feels good, left foot comes to the inside of your left hand, right knee comes down, left hand to the ceiling, left elbow, left ankle. Having whatever flare feels right to you. Flare is a good thing. Not being strict, relaxing your neck, relaxing your jaw. This side needs a bit more for me, so bear with me. Nice, and then straighten your left leg, getting a hamstring stretch, toe up or pointing forward, your choice. I like my toe to come up, and then my toe comes forward when I rebend the knee. But very much your choice. Couple more rounds of that. And then step back to plank. Walk your hands to your feet. Walk your hands back out. Come into a little push-up just to get your shoulders into it. Step your right foot forward. Left knee comes down. Come on up into a low lunge. And then just let yourself sink and come out. Couple little just like pulses here. You can do whatever you want. You can twist, you can play, you can just stretch. If you back bend, press into your front foot and then back bend. Don't back bend from leaning forward. Sag all you want. Then play with engaging the front foot to come further. Maybe you grab your back ankle. About 10 more seconds. And then your hands come down to the ground. Left knee comes off the ground. Your right foot goes back. Walk your hands to your feet. Walk your hands back out. Little push-up just because it warms up your shoulders. And left foot forward. Right knee down. Hands come up. You can put your hands up in the sky. Whatever feels good. The more you reach up with your right hand, the more you'll feel the stretch in your right thigh. The more you sink, actually the less stretch you'll feel. The more you press back, the more you'll get your psoas. you grab a hold of your back leg. Don't worry about if this does not serve you. About 10 more seconds. Whenever you're ready, let that go if you have it. Sit back to plank. Walk your hands back. And now you're in a forward fold. And have your knees bent quite a lot. Let your belly rest on your thighs. Swing it out for a second. And then straighten your legs a little bit. And then let your knees bend. Straighten. Bend. Maybe start to have your stomach stay on your thighs. A couple rounds of that of just letting your torso be heavy while your legs go straight and then your knees bend. And then with bent knees, you can come up to more of a flat back so your hands can come up towards your knees. Nice strong straight back. Get some length through your lumbar spine. And then fold. Length through your lumbar spine. Fold. And then heel toe your feet out apart from one another with your toes pointing outwards and come on down into a sumo squat. And rather than hanging out and kind of rounding through your low back and sitting in your flexibility, get up a little bit so you have a nice strong back. You can hang out here, or you can do some twists. Maybe about 10 on each side. Couple more. If you need to take a break, go for it. And then when that feels like you've kind of done your sumo squat, I kind of like to come back up for a second halfway and just kind of come into a bit of a horse stance. Don't press on your knee, press on the inside of your thigh, and drop your elbow down, your shoulder down. So left hand, left thigh, left shoulder comes down. I'm not pressing hard, it's just to support. I will start again pressing my knee, I'm inside my thigh. And just maybe hands on the ground, just getting into your inner thighs. And then come onto your bum. And then hip swivels, 90 degrees. Your hands can be on the ground or on your chest. Drop your knees off to one side and your knee comes straight up from your hip. And you have all 90 degrees. And then just swivel over to the other side. And keep going there. I like my hands not on the ground because I just feel like it just feels better for me. It's not harder or easier. We're just going side to side. Couple more. Everything's kind of by feel. You want to aim for about 30 seconds of motion between everything you do. Nice. And then from here, draw your feet together, knees out to the side for a little butterfly. You're gonna kind of flap your little wingies. You can even have your feet, if it feels good, the razor edge of your foot comes together and your big toes move apart. So it's like a little book, nice and tall through your spine. I like to twist here, so I like to put my left hand on the side of my left thigh, so you can do that if you want, and then turn towards your left thigh. And I pull up on my feet just for traction so that I can lift my chest up. And if you're twisting to the side, right hand inside of your right thigh, using your left hand to pull on your feet to get your chest up as you twist. Maybe lean forward a bit, about 10 more seconds. So it's about 10 seconds twisted that way, 10 seconds twisted the other way, 10 seconds kind of folding forward, more or less. And then from here, come forward into a figure four. So I'll go sideways so you can see what my knee's doing, and then I'll go back because that's my mat. My ankle is just outside my knee, is just in line with my hips. So everything is 90 degrees perpendicular. So like a little Z almost, or like half of a swastika. Yeah, you're welcome. And then let your legs come apart. If you're really far from the ground, that's fine. Close to the ground, doesn't matter. About 30 seconds. Frog, if you're interested. I don't know what frog really does this. Maybe the legs are frog-like. For 10 more seconds. The slippier the ground is, the better, because you don't stick and you fall out if you want. Ooh. And then pull it back together. And then it's your choice for your figure four versus like a kind of yogi pigeon thing. You can either come on your back and make a little figure four with your legs, so your ankle's on your thigh. You can hug it in, you can keep it straight, whatever feels good. Or you can kind of go yoga style, bringing your right knee the outside of your right wrist, quite broad. Your right foot will work up to kind of a parallel situation eventually, but your right foot's probably tucked quite close to your genitals in the moment. Stay upright to start with. There's a lot of alignment points I could say in this, so if you're uncomfortable and I'm not there to visually see you, I recommend just the figure four on your back, or do a whole like separate FaceTime with me around this alignment. After you've been up for a little while and you feel the weight in your hips, maybe come down and hang out folded forward about 30 seconds. Or you're on your back in a figure four. Before I come out of this, I like to be active about it. So I like to come up with no hands for a second and almost try to do like some balancing in the position. And then when you come out, if you're in the full pigeon, walk your back left knee in forward first. Then lift your right foot up and send it back to plank and shake it out. Maybe a couple little hip swivels. maybe like, I don't know, whatever feels good, shake it out. You might even come back into child's pose. Maybe come back into that cobra like you did in the beginning. Just loosen up your hips. And then same thing other side. So either on your back, your left ankle will cross your right thigh for a figure four, or left knee outside your left wrist. Walk your right leg back. Stay upright for a second. And then if you're in your pigeon yogi style, you can come and fold forward. About 10 more seconds. And then again, I like to come up and be engaged in it, so you have to use your muscles to take your hands off the ground. Maybe this doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. You're just part of my journey right now. Out of that, walking your right leg in, lift your left foot up, send it back, shake hips out. Maybe child's pose, into that back bend. And then come onto your back. On your back, you can either just do little bridges, just to loosen up your hips, or, and I love this, up into a bridge and then reach over and tap to the other side. Come down. So it's just a bridge with a reach over. You just lift your bum up, reach across your body to the other side. And then just maybe a bridge for a second if it feels good. A little dancing bridge. Then come on down. Pause there for a minute. Make sure your back isn't feeling any tension from the back bendy bit that you just did. And then hug in, alternating legs. Maybe giving your knee coming out to the side for a second and then coming in. You're quite compressed in your figure four, so just kind of being gentle, other leg. And then like John's doing, you can extend the leg that's not being hugged in. And then lift your chest up. And this is really like about intention, lifting your chest up. You can, hold on one second. You can press your legs open, resisting it by pressing your legs into your hands, and then press your legs closed, resisting it by pressing into your hands. Press your legs open, resist by pressing into your hands. Push your legs closed, resist by pressing into your hands. And then the other way, press your right hand into your right quad and pull your left hand, your left hamstring, but resist with your legs so you don't go anywhere. And then switch. So you're pressing and pulling and nothing happens anywhere. Press your hand into your leg into your hand. Let's do that a couple times. It's just some core activation. And it's really about how much you try. If you feel something, so I'm really pressing my hand hard. I'm pressing my leg back hard and nothing is moving. This one, you'll move. And then if you want, last but not least, a twist. So bring your hips, your bum, up over to the right, put it back down. Drop your knees to the left. If your shoulders feel uncomfortable, it's probably your left shoulder. Pull your left shoulder out from underneath you. And always feeling free to adjust. If something doesn't feel right, fix it. Like we put ourselves in these positions, we're like, this doesn't feel good, and we just stay there. It doesn't feel good, move. About 20 seconds. And when you're ready, bring your knees back to center, bring your bum back into the middle. Stay in your center line for a second. And then when the feelings of the twist subside, then bring your hip bum up, over to the left, back down, and then drop your knees to the right. You may need to pull your right shoulder out from underneath you. Feel good, unravel, put your hips back in the middle, kiss your shoulders so you're all nice and neutral. Let the feelings of the twist subside on their own. And then when that feeling has subsided and you feel neutral again, then you can hug your knees in. Maybe lift your bum up and really hug it, a little ball. Get a little massage from the ground underneath you. And that's it. You guys just did active recovery with me in theory. I hope that you could hear me over the music. I hope it made sense. I am open to feedback. See you later.